So, welcome back to Bodhicharyavatara. So, we are going through the 9th chapter, which is the chapter on wisdom. So, we went through the stanza number 12, more or less. There is one or two lines of 13. I think stanza number 13 was also touched, where it says, there is no power in things like spells, so mirage-like minds do not occur through them. Illusions spring from various causes, thus illusions are of different kinds. A single cause for everything there never was. So we discussed this a little bit. It is about, if everything is like, illusion, then, there should not be any negative deed by killing other sentient beings, because it's all illusion, it doesn't truly exist. And the answer was that there's a difference, because these beings have their mind, and although the mind is also not truly existing, it's also like illusion, but they experience suffering and pain and things like that, so therefore it's different. It's different because it's different causes and conditions, but it's not, even if there is mind, it's illusory nature of the mind. So, there's nothing different. Being like illusion. One example given here is like yaks or oxes. There are oxes with horns and the oxes without horns. But if they are illusion, then ones with horns are not less illusory than ones with horns. So the main thing is that if you look at everything, what is this everything made of? There's nothing which is not made of many different causes and conditions, many different parts, many different elements. So you look at this, then there is nothing which is totally one and totally independent. And then if you look at any one of them, they are also in the same way, made of many different causes, many different conditions, many different elements, many different parts, things like that. So, like that, if you go deep down and down and down, then, everything, every material thing becomes, atoms. Atoms become subatomic. If you look deeply, you can divide it till it kind of disappears. And therefore it's kind of made of almost to nothing. So in the same way, even the consciousness, if you look at the consciousness also is not one thing. It changes moment by moment. It is made of also many causes and conditions, and so therefore there is nothing you can find in it which is totally existing on its own. So that's why they say like that. But then the next question asked is, if ultimately beings are in nirvana, you will say, but relatively circle in samsara. So, ultimate nature is the ultimate nature of everything, you say, is nirvana. And, in the ultimately, there's nothing wrong, there's nothing negative, it's all enlightened. Relatively, what appears, then that becomes samsara, circle of samsara. So you say this, they say. So therefore, then even Buddhahood refers to the samsaric state. Even somebody is Buddha, in the relative level, he or she has to go through the samsaric things, samsaric suffering, samsaric, So therefore, there is, whatever may be ultimately, relatively, everything is samsara. So therefore, even a Buddha has to go through all the samsaric experiences and problems and sufferings. So therefore, why pursue the Bodhisattva path? Because even if you become Buddha, relatively, you have to go through the same samsaric problems and samsaric situations. So therefore, it doesn't help. If they say that, if that's the ask, then why should we practice the path? The answer is, as long as there is no cutting of the causal stream, there is no halting even of illusory displays. But when the causal stream is severed, even relative phenomena do not appear. So this is the Buddhist kind of way. Buddha said that, yes, as long as there is the causes of samsara, then there will be samsaric experiences happening. Until you eliminate all the causes of the samsaric experience, then there will be no samsaric appearance. So when that's why relative is important. Relative is important. So once samsaric causes and conditions, like kleshas and karmas are, eliminated, you have your wisdom and compassion and all these things are developed such, to an extent that there is no cause for samsaric experience, then there will be no samsaric experience. Until then, there will be samsaric experience. So therefore, or even if in an ultimate level all these things is illusory, all these things is a delusion, all these things is ignorance, so therefore that's why we need to accumulate merit, we need to practice the path, we need to learn how to free all the causes and conditions, and then only we will become enlightened. But you may say that, then why, when Buddha appears, Buddha comes into the world, he has to live, the worldly life. He was to live in the same way as we live, on the same earth, with the same, earthly and worldly environment, and communicate with all our, worldly people and things like that. So, does that mean that he is not enlightened, or does that mean that Buddha also has to go through all the samsaric problems? Now here they say that, it is not, if somebody is totally enlightened, that person never has to go through these samsaric experiences. In his or her own experience, there's no samsaric experience. There's no negative emotions, there's no negative experience for himself. But those people who have the right karmic link or right karmic situation, the Buddhas will appear. Buddhas will appear in the world for the worldly people because of their, their dedication, their aspiration that they prayed for or aspired for, like a magic, like a miracle. They appear. That's why the Buddha's enlightened body, we can call it, is regarded as a miraculous body. It's not created by the karmic conditions. It's created by purified Buddha field, and by the positive karma of the people who has the opportunity to see Buddha, together with enlightened beings' own great compassion and aspiration and dedication that he has been making while he was Bodhisattva. Because of that, the Buddhas appear. So Buddha seems to go through the samsaric or the world, in the world that is going through at that time, but he doesn't have to experience the samsaric experience that is happening around him. So this is the understanding. This is the answer, and this is important because from Buddhist point of view, how I experience my life, how I experience my world, it depends a lot on how I am. So therefore, this is basically what we mean by, what sometimes people call spiritual practice, spiritual transformation, is that, if my mind, if I am transformed, my way of seeing things, my way of reacting to things, my way of, experiencing things are changed from within myself, then I'm kind of, although what is around me and what appears around me may be same in a way, but in another way it will be different. The things that appear is the same if I and an enlightened being sit in the same room. What an enlightened person experiences and what I experience would be different. An enlightened experience will never feel, anything disturbing, anything that's, that's suffering, painful, unhappy, would not be disturbed and disrupted by whatever is happening around. So that enlightened person will always be free from all the sufferings and pain and problems. Although at the same time he can see and he can know what everybody is going through, and therefore he can be compassionate, he can be very responsive, he can even do whatever necessary to help them, but he does not necessarily go through the same experience. And that is because all these things that is around going through is not truly existing as they are, because it can be experienced by different people in a different way. So therefore, everything is illusory. It's not truly existing as it appears. So that's the main understanding. Now, I think there will be some questions, or maybe we can call it debates from Chittamatra philosophers. That is from the second half of stanza number 16. No. But when the causal stream is severed, even relative phenomena do not appear. Then it says, if even that which is receives does not exist, what is it, you will ask, that sees illusion? So that's the... but if for you these same illusions have no being, what indeed is there to be perceived? But objects have another mode of being, you will say. That very mode is but the mind itself. So this, I think, we will deal in the next session. So it's stanza number 15. I think we will go through stanza number 15 next time. Thank you.